Hello, welcome. I'm going to look at G.I. Joe Adventure board game from International Games Inc. This was released in 1982, which is the same year the first wave of 3 3/4 inch action figures released. So I don't think this game is too well known. It's the only G.I. Joe board game not by Milton Bradley or Hasbro. There are 5, I believe, original G.I. Joe board games. This being the first, plus G.I. Joe themed Battleship and Monopoly games. And I don't recall playing this, though I'm sure I did. Reading the instructions today, it's a little overly complicated, I think. So I don't think it'd be much fun. I think the 1985 Milton Bradley game, Commando Attack game, is a lot more fun. And the game most people probably are familiar with, because that one let you use your own action figures if you wanted to. Flip it over here. There will be photos and scans of everything on the blog, as I often do, if you want to take a closer look or read the whole manual. So there's a link in the video description for that. So the back of the box you can see is not in color. This is the board, and then just the details. Ages 6 to adult for 2 to 4 players. I have the camera as high as I can get it with my setup, but it won't be able to fit the whole board in frame at the same time. Here's what you see. I don't have the cards in here right now because I didn't want to mix them up as I flip the box over. One nice thing about this game, even though it's only for 4 players, there are 9 game pieces included. Basically, you get one of the original 3 3/4 inch action figures. This is every G.I. Joe released in that first wave. For some reason, though, they didn't put their names on them. They put their role or their designation, I guess. Like Stalker is a ranger, so it says ranger. Scarlet, it says counterintelligence. So it doesn't actually have their names. I think that would have made more sense, but oh well. Also, it's supposed to come with 4 stands. My game has 6. I don't know if they all came with 6, just with extra stands, but it's only for 4 players. And you get 2 dies, a black one and a white one, which I'll mention once I get the game set up here. So I'm going to set up, and it doesn't matter, I'm just going to place them on the board. I'm not going to play, but I use the most popular characters, I think, out of these 9. Snake Eyes, Rock and Roll, Stalker, and Scarlet. The others are, I do have them written down because I can't remember all their names. Zap, Grunt, Flash, Breaker, and Short Fuse. They have the cool artwork you would have seen on the packaging of the action figures. And I'll show you the cards in a bit. Let me just open the manual first. 3 pages plus an ad. So the objective is to get objective. you get to complete objectives. There's no like end space on the board. You're not going from a start space to an end space. You can navigate the board however you want. You just got to get objective cards that are worth points, and then when you reach 100 points, you win. Although the manual says you can, set the winning score to whatever you want. If you want a longer game or a shorter game. So these just explain the different board spaces and the cards. And I guess it's a little complex. I thought, just reading it, you probably have to play a few times to really get the hang of it, I would say. I do have all the cardboard frames that these things were punched out of too. Like the cards were punched out of these things, and the pieces would have been in this one. All the garbage that came with the game. Alright, before I open the board, let's look at the cards. You can see images of every card on the blog. So objective, battle, and equipment are the cards. Now, equipment are the coolest ones because they look like the toys. You got the missile system, artillery laser, attack cannon. There's vehicles in here too, a tank, vamp, There's a generic hydrofoil. This isn't a toy. The hydrofoil is needed to reach Cobra Island. So when you play the game, and open the board, it'll make more sense. But you need to collect equipment at the start so that you can reach certain spaces. Objectives, they're just kind of generic locations: oasis, sand dunes, village, radar. It's like Colonel Sharif's fort, a Spanish fort. They have Cobra flags on them. And battle cards just say various things: missile attack, artillery attack, tank attack, fast escape, enemy ambush, things like that. Alright, so let's open the board. So at the bottom you have the Pentagon, Cobra Island, G.I. Joe logo, alphabet, got Desert Kingdom, Ambush Pass, Fort Wadsworth. Just kind of get it in frame. I guess the bottom is fine. You can see most of it. Basically, you have a choice of where to start. You have to start here or here. You can see there's start spaces. You have to complete at least one rotation before exiting this area and navigating the board. So what you're doing here, this is where you get your equipment. You can come back here after you complete an objective as well and just redo this if you want to get more equipment. So you do that, and then you go around the board getting your objectives, which are these red spaces. There's other things on here, like there are jetpack spaces where you can jetpack from a jetpack space to another jetpack space. Like a jetpack island, jetpack. Like, you can jump around the board, but you have to land exactly on those spaces. If you land on the same space as another character, the other player gets sent backwards. So let me just drop the pieces. Doesn't really matter. Then you just move around. So you need a hydrofoil to actually advance to Cobra Island. There's also vamp spaces and tank spaces. So I don't know how everything works exactly, but I believe you need the actual equipment to land on those spaces or to advance across these paths. So you got to get your equipment before you go out here. You won't be able to reach every place. And then the dies. So when you're in the starting areas, you only use one die. So you just go around with one die, and then when you get out here, you use both. But also, when you're attacked, the sneak attack spaces, you roll 2 die. It's a battle with Cobra. So Cobra is the dark die. So Cobra scored 5, Scarlet got 4. And when that happens, Cobra wins. And then you have to go back. I don't remember what the manual said. I think 3 spaces. If you win, you can move ahead a few spaces. If it's a tie, you just stay where you are. And that's pretty much the whole game. You just keep going around until you get your 100 points. One thing, just as a little bonus, because the games may not be that interesting to look at, it's going to show these G.I. Joe minifigures. If you recall, if you collected or bought action figures in the 80s, at one time Hasbro included these as a bonus with carded action figures. Like there'd be a separate little plastic bubble or one of these. You could see which one you were getting. They're just a bonus with the action figures. And these would make great board game pieces. You can notice their size. They're perfect for this game, really. They're maybe a little bigger than these oval stands, but still, I mean, Bazooka's a little big, but certainly usable. I think they'd be more fun to use than cardboard cutouts. But you really could use them with any board game. I think the Monopoly G.I. Joe board game would be perfect, because you just get kind of generic pieces with that. But they're relatively small. You could replace any plastic piece in a board game with G.I. Joe figures. To me, it adds more fun. There's more than these. These are the ones I have, which is Crimson Guard, Destro, Cobra Commander, Sergeant Slaughter, Gung Ho, Bazooka, and Flint. So, some fun little pieces you could use instead of these. And I guess that is about it. It's just a board game, but it's G.I. Joe, so that's why I have it. Like I said, you can check out the blog. There'll be photos and scans of all these items to get a better look. So thanks for watching.